I'm Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum. About 2 weeks of testimony in for the Lori Vallow murder trial, and we've seen and heard a lot. From disturbing text messages to bombshell phone calls to graphic evidence, the prosecution is trying to convince the jury that Lori Vallow hatched a plan with her now husband Chad Daybell and late brother Alex Cox to kill her own children, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow. These were innocent kids found buried in shallow graves on Daybell's property in eastern Idaho after authorities had been searching for them for several months. And that's not all. Prosecutors say Lori and Chad plotted the murder of Chad's then-wife Tammy Daybell, who died of asphyxiation. One portion of testimony that stood out to me after opening statements: first off, JJ's grandma, Kay Woodcock. She's instrumental in this case. She's Lori's former sister-in-law, and yes, to remind you, JJ's biological grandma. Remember, Kay's brother, Charles Vallow, and Lori adopted JJ together as husband and wife. In July of 2019, Charles was shot and killed in Chandler, Arizona by Lori's brother, Alex. They claimed it was self-defense after a fight inside Lori's rental home. After the shooting, Kay couldn't get a hold of Lori or JJ for months. She had no idea where they were, but she found a clue. Listen to this.
Did anything happen in November that alerted you to Lori Vallow's whereabouts?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what date that happened?
November 8th.
Where were you?
At home, Lake Charles.
In Lake Charles. Okay. How did you become aware of Lori Vallow's whereabouts?
I had a printer that was Charles's. When we cleaned out his house in Houston, one of his sons and my family went to pack it up to vacate the house, and nobody wanted the printer, so I said, okay, I'll take it home, and it sat on my table for a couple of months, and on November the 7th, I decided it was time to hook it up to my computer, and I was having trouble with the scanner, so I was quite aggravated with it, so I went to bed and left it alone to look at it with a fresh eye in the morning. And I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, and I just had to go. Something was telling me to go work on that scanner. And when I got to my computer, I noticed that if you have Gmail, when you log on, there's a whatever icon you want it to be in the top right of your screen. And I saw Charles's icon, for his Gmail on my computer screen. So I don't know how it was there, but it was there. And so I clicked on it, and it brought me to his Gmail to sign in. And
were you able to sign into that Gmail account?
Yes.
Did you have access to Charles's passwords?
Yes. He had 3 favorite passwords, and the first one I used worked.
And had he provided you those passwords?
Yes.
Okay. When you opened up that Gmail account, what did you see?
There was a bunch of emails, but one that stuck out specifically was an Amazon, like a delivery of like an ordered status email.
Okay. Where was that delivery to?
It was to 575 Pioneer Road, apartment 175 in Rexburg, Idaho.
Do you recall the date of that delivery?
It was probably a couple of days before November 8th. I don't remember specifically.
Okay. But it was after July 11th, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that delivery, was that associated with a specific company?
It was with Amazon.
Okay. What did you do after you saw that notification?
I called Brandon Boudreaux was first, and then law enforcement, and I do believe I talked to our private investigator as well. I talked to numerous people that day regarding it because I was shocked at what I found.
Okay. Did you look further into that Amazon account?
Yes, I got into the browsing history in the Amazon account, and I saw that there was browsing for a beach wedding dress, a bathing suit, men's large size, I think it was large, white linen top and pants, and malachite wedding rings. And there were a couple other little odd and end things, I believe, maybe flip-flops or something.
Was there a date associated with that browsing history that you saw?
Yes.
What date was that?
October 2nd,
Of what year?
2019.
Why is this significant? Well, Charles was dead at the time, and Lori was allegedly using this Amazon account to look for wedding rings. The deliveries shipped to her new apartment in Rexburg, Idaho, so her location was identified. At the time, Chad Daybell was married, but Tammy would die 17 days after that Amazon browsing date. Then Chad and Lori would marry in Kauai just a couple weeks later, and there were no kids with them on the beach. See, investigators say these two believed they were meant to be together once their affair started in 2018. The religious factor in this case reveals Chad and Lori were very important people in preparing for the second coming of Jesus Christ, according to them through the police records we have. Take it from star witness Melanie Gibb, Lori's former best friend.
She would tell me that, yes, that weekend that he came to Arizona, that they met in the temple together, and they were somewhere in there, like in just like maybe a waiting area room, that they were sealed together by, I believe Moroni was there, and possibly, I believe she said Jesus Christ, and that relationship they had multiple lives, it was kind of like a reunited again when they got to be sealed there. It wasn't in a sealing room officially done by the church or anything like that.
Back then, Lori and Chad had spouses already, and Gibb tells the prosecution they wouldn't divorce because that wasn't the Lord's will. Detectives with Chandler PD learned through cell phone data and iCloud accounts that Lori continued to call her then-husband Charles a dark spirit in text messages to her inner circle. She referred to Charles as a dark spirit named Garrett, and then Ned, and then Iplos. Melanie told the prosecution that Lori predicted Charles and their son JJ would die in a car accident. Well, that never happened. But after Charles was shot and killed, text messages between Lori and Chad sent a week later were read to the jury by Chandler detective Nate Duncan.
So on 7/18 of 2019, Chad sent Lori a message. I love you. This is terrible, but it is probably another step in bringing down the Gadiantons, especially Brandon. Lori responded to Chad, nope, he can change it anytime he wants. He's the agent, and anyone can change their beneficiary anytime with their own signature. I'm thinking it must be Kay. Chad sent Lori a message. It will be interesting if he got it changed after he had 2 bullets in his chest.
Was there an additional message located?
Yes. On 7/18/2019 at 12:19 hours, Lori sent Chad a message. So I talked to the insurance company. He changed it in March. So it was probably Ned before we got rid of him. They can't tell me to who, of course, but it's done. I'll still get the $4,000 a month from SS.
A $1 million life insurance policy, and Lori was not the beneficiary. 4 Chandler detectives have been called to testify already, and this is a big deal. Evidence from an entirely separate murder case presented to the jury. Prosecutors want to prove Lori conspired in the deaths of not only her children, but Tammy Daybell as well. Money is clearly one of the alleged motives. But in all of this, there was a huge question before Tylee and JJ were ever found. Where were they? Lori would never answer that. She would never cooperate with authorities at the time. Here's what her former sister-in-law, Zulema Pastenes, said to prosecutors about the topic.
What did Lori tell you about where Tylee was?
She said she had to be free.
When she said she, who is she?
Tylee.
Okay. And who said this to you? Is that what Lori said, that Tylee had to be free?
Correct.
Okay. Did she say where she was staying, where Tylee was actually staying?
When I tried to ask her what she meant by that, she lifted her hand and put it up to my face and said, "Don't ask."
And there was talk of demons attacking Lori's kids. Take a listen to this.
So she had told you prior to the move to Rexburg that JJ, too, was being attacked by demons.
Correct.
Okay. What did she say about whether Tylee was being attacked by demons or evil spirits?
Right before she moved to Rexburg, she said that Tylee had been possessed by evil spirit or a demon, and she called it Hillary.
Okay. Do you remember how many times she's talked about Tylee being possessed by the spirit Hillary or the demon Hillary?
About 2-3 times.
Okay, more than once.
Correct.
Okay. What about JJ, but him being attacked by demons? You know, did she say this once or more than once?
More than once.
Okay. How many times?
It was a few times.
Okay.
This is not only a disturbing testimony, but tragic. These were two siblings. JJ was 7 and Tylee 16, approaching her 17th birthday. And with witnesses like Zulema and Melanie, the prosecution has now established a belief system about light and dark spirits allegedly taught by Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. The jury has been absorbing all of this and comprehending the fact that JJ's body was found bound with duct tape, still wearing his red pajamas, and his body was decomposing. And Tylee was not even recognizable. Her remains were burned and dismembered, found in a melted bucket beneath the ground. Imagine the conversation their big brother Colby Ryan had with his mom Lori after authorities made the discoveries. The son confronts the mother as she sat in jail, and this recorded call in August of 2020 was played in court. Listen to how Lori reacts to her heartbroken son when he accuses her of murdering his siblings.
I sat there and tried my best to forgive you and Chad and Alex, and I was deceived, and I was broken by my own mother. What are you doing? What are you doing? I prayed to Heavenly Father, and I said, "You tell me, Father."
All life have all made instructions. They think they know what happened. They think
I don't care about other
they
people.
know what happened. They think they know what's possible.
Do you know that you told me?
Everything.
Do you know what you told me?
Because you weren't there. So
You're right. I wasn't there. I was kept
that's
in
right.
lap.
And one day,
Two kids
you will
were
know.
murdered.
One day,
Murdered.
you will know what actually happened.
You're right. And you know what, Mom?
And we all will stand there with
Everything
We-
into a light. You're absolutely right. He will convict the people who act in his name with pure blasphemy. Is this funny? This is funny? This is funny. You're laughing like this is funny. How come your camera's on, Mom? You don't want to look at me in the eye? Why can't you look at me? It's just you and me. I'm in my house alone.
I love you. I always will. One day you will see and one day you will understand.
Go ahead and hang
I
up.
do love
See
you.
how that works for you. You gonna hang up?
I don't have anything else to say. You obviously don't know.
Let me tell you
You weren't
something,
there. You weren't there. Summer wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. The police weren't there. The FBI weren't there.
You're right,
Nobody
Mom wasn't
was there.
Tylee and JJ, Mom.
Yeah, and guess
Tylee
what? They
did.
know. They know exactly what happened.
Backyard.
And they love me. And we are still together forever. They love me. And they are fine. And they do know the truth. And I know the truth. And we're the only people that do. So you can judge me, Colby, all day long. Go ahead and judge me. The whole world
Judge me?
has. The whole world
Brother,
has judged me.
listen to me.
They don't
Hey,
know, and
please
you
stop.
don't know. You know what I've been through, and you don't even give a crap what they've been through. Nobody does. Except for me. I'm the one that knows. I'm the one that was in the hospital with Tylee for hundreds of days watching her suffer. I am the one that was there doing everything with JJ every day. I was the one who did it all these years.
You did it all to throw it in the garbage. They're not.
You don't know what happened. You don't know what happened.
Freaking matter what happened if they're buried in your new husband's backyard. Tell me that matters what happened. You tell me that you did this in Jesus' name, Mom. I have to hear that out of you. You believe it, and you are not afraid. Every witness of Christ will scream his name when he comes back. So you are that person.
I am that person. I am that person. And he will come to. Oh, yeah, Colby, because that's what it is. You don't even know. You weren't even there. You don't even know.
When I see you outside in October, what did you tell me? What did you tell me? What lies did you feed me? Why would you lie to me if you're with the Lord and you've seen him, and I'm just talking purely to you, and you've seen Jesus Christ, where's the fear? Why wouldn't you tell me something? Why were you afraid? Why is everyone against you? Why is everything against my mom?
You can be against me all you want. One day, we will all stand there with Jesus. We will all stand there with Jesus, and you will know the truth of everything. Not for me.
You're telling me that this was all done in light.
I would say this call and the graphic images of JJ and Tylee's remains are the most compelling, powerful pieces of evidence the jury has witnessed thus far. And in this call, Lori does not admit fault. She does not explain what happened to her kids, and her son Colby continues to press. Truly a devastating call to listen to. Now we have hours and hours of trial audio on our website, fox10phoenix.com/Vallow. Here's the QR code on your screen, and you can find our coverage of this case from the very beginning. We also have a primer for those who are new to this complex case, Murder, Money, and the End of Days, the Lori Vallow story. This investigative special we produced will show you how strong the case's Arizona ties are. For now, I'm Justin Lum for Fox 10 Investigates.